Hi everyone, it's Casey Williams. Well, Toyota had a real image problem with the Avalon. Probably not with their older buyers, but definitely with their younger buyers. I mean, the cars are well made, they drive nice, they handle well, and probably last forever. But they just don't have an image of being sporty or stylish or fun to drive. Well, I think that really changes with the car we have here today. It's the 2020 Toyota Avalon TRD. Let's go have a look at it. Well, Toyota's designers and engineers started with the sportiest Avalon, the XSE, and then went to town on it. And it really starts in the front. I mean, you got the piano black grille, looks very aggressive, looks very sporty. Also a little bit of a Lexus look to it. There's a lot shared between the Avalon and the Toyota ES, or the Lexus ES. But it gives it a very nice look. I like the LED headlamps, thin line, look good. And some of the things they did for the TRD version are like the lower ground effects, the black here. You know, in some ways I think it looks good. Other ways it looks a little bit glued on, looks a little bit tacked on. So kind of your thing. But to me, it looks okay to me. Come around the sides, 19-inch alloy wheels, the TRD special wheels. You see the red brake calipers peeking out behind them. Those are larger front rotors. The engineers upgraded the braking system from 12 inches on the XSE, 12-inch rotors, to 12.9 inches. So a little more stopping power on the front of the car as well. Again, the lower ground effects, to me, I can take them or leave them. I think they look okay on this car, but still just a little bit tacked on to me. But if you stand back and really look at the car, there's some really nice forms on the Avalon. It's a long car. It's essentially a stretched Camry, so you get a little more rear seat leg room, a little longer roof line on it. But if you look nice, you see some forms here, comes in, kind of comes out to this arrow shape to the back. Just gives it a very nice look. I think it's just a pretty car anyway. Come around the back. If you get the Camry TRD, it has a taller wing on the back. A little more tasteful here on the Avalon with just the black kind of lip spoiler. I think that looks good. Lower rear diffuser look. Again, it's an aggressive car, twin exhaust outlets, works for it. All the black logos, black lettering, kind of sports up a bit. And the one nice thing about having kind of a sported out full-size car is you get a really large trunk. Plenty of luggage space. It's got a real spare tire underneath there. Seats flip down, you got plenty of space to get all your gear in. Well, the interior is a pretty sporty place for what, again, is a full-size luxury car, at its heart. It starts with the seats, like the leather and the suede seats, kind of wrap around you just a little bit with the red stripes, the red stitching in, looks very nice. Red stitching here on the dash, carbon fiber look here on the dash as well. I think, again, all looks really sporty, looks very nice, and kind of gives a hint at the performance of the car. I like the center stack. I like the way it's laid out. I like the look of it. Kind of looks like high-end electronics. Very nice. Pretty easy to use, too. Audio buttons on the side, audio maps, phone button, apps. Pretty easy to find there. All looks very nice. This has a JBL audio system, 14 speakers in it, 1200 watt amplifier. You can really thump the car. I like that a lot too, of course. Power sunroof, dual zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, nice thick leather wrapped steering wheel, and a lot of safety gear on this. You got adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning with auto brake. You've got lane keep assist, blind spot warning, rear cross path detection. So a pretty full suite of safety gear as well. And being a full-size car again, lots of space for 4 or 5 people in this car. 2 you can sit in the back very comfortably, stretch your legs out. Plenty of room for all your gear in the trunk, all your luggage will fit back there very nicely. So it's kind of the advantage of having a large luxury car that turns into a sports sedan, is you still kind of have the space and the utility of a large luxury car inside of it. And I think it works out very nice. Well, if you were hoping for a twin turbo V8 or something fancy under the hood, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But the car has plenty of power. It makes do with a 3.5 liter V6, delivers 301 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque. Routing that to the front wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission, that's plenty of power. It'll squeeze the front tires. What I would really like to have seen in this car that would be really nice is you put a turbo on that V6 and add all-wheel drive and get something closer to 400 horsepower with all-wheel drive, and then you would really have a high-performance car. But as it is, I don't really have any complaints for what the car is trying to be. The good thing about this engine and powertrain, get 22 miles per gallon in the city, 31 miles per gallon on the highway. So you get a pretty high-performance car, but you get the gas mileage of a mid-sized car still, and I think that's really nice. And the logo, the TRD, what that really stands for is Toyota Racing Development. And it's more than just a logo on this car. They really did some nice development work to make this car handle better and perform better. Stiffened up the suspension. They added some bracing underneath of the car, stiffened that up just a little bit so the car feels tighter, handles better. Steering's really tight. I said earlier they upgraded the braking system a little bit, lowered the car 0.6 inches. All these things add up to really nice effect on the way the car handles. It does not feel like a large car when you drive it. It feels like a smaller, mid-size or even a smaller car below that. You You can adjust the drive modes. It's got Eco, Normal, and Sport. Sport mode really just makes the throttle more sensitive and tightens up the steering a little bit. So there's not much going on there. It doesn't really adjust the chassis. But it doesn't really need to. I think they found a nice balance of, of being firm without being overly firm. You hit potholes, you hit bumps here in the city. It doesn't shake your teeth out. I think it's exactly the tuning this car needed to have. It's not a hardcore race car. It's not like you get like a Subaru STI or something that's really stiff and firm. It's just a car that is fun to drive on a weekend, but also very pleasant going back and forth to work every day. And I think Toyota just did a really nice job with this car all the way around. Spending some time with the Avalon TRD just reminds me there's still a lot to like in full-size sedans. The whole world's gone crossover crazy, and that's okay. But when you drive a sedan, you get a little bit better gas mileage, you certainly get better handling, you get a little bit better style, I think, in a lot of cases. And the cars are just enjoyable to drive. So if you can take the kind of boring mid-sized large sedans, do something really cool to them, and make them enjoyable for younger audiences, I think you really have something. And I think Toyota's made a really good effort with this car. They upgraded the chassis, they upgraded the brakes, the steering's tightened up. I like the style on the outside. Maybe some of the ground effects just a bit too much. But overall, really made a good effort to take their full-size chromed over luxury car and turn it into a credible performance car. And I really do enjoy driving this car every day. So let's talk about pricing. Well, the Avalon starts just under $36,000. This one, as equipped, $45,394. So if you're putting this against other kind of larger luxury cars, that's a pretty reasonable price for all this car offers. Well, next week, we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.